to include a Super Bowl? We can't answer that, but we do ask the question. And in our main game, Jimmy Johnson goes home to Texas, although not to Dallas. Good morning. Now, there's always one big match that we can't show you on the big match because it kicks off after we go on air, the Monday night game. And last Monday's was a particularly big one, the Packers against the Cowboys. So before we do anything else this week, we're going to show you that. The banners hanging from Texas Stadium are there to remind opponents who the defending Super Bowl champions are. Green Bay, who'd lost 6 straight in Dallas coming into this game, must be getting sick of them. Their offense looked sick in the first half, unable to get past its own 45-yard line in the face of the Cowboys' pass rush. Dallas, meanwhile, managed to move the ball, but needed kicker Chris Boniol to finish off all 5 of their first-half scoring drives.
One of the best in the league, and he looks like it right there. Splits the uprights, and now splits the uprights again. And he has an early hat trick. This one is good, just good.
The Dallas defense wasn't just good, though. It was great.
Green Bay has it from the 14-yard line, and Favre gets taken down.
While Boniol was netting 6 straight field goals for an 18-0 lead, the Packers couldn't even manage one of their own. After Chris Jackie's miss, though, they finally threw a 6 to start. But Brett Favre's pass to Derek Mays came with under 2 minutes left, and with an 18-6 lead, all Dallas had to do was run out the clock.
As the clock ticks down, one more play, one more kneel down, and that'll do it.
Not quite. Dallas head coach Barry Switzer called a timeout for one more field goal attempt so that Boniol could equal the NFL record of 7 in a game.
I don't think Green Bay ought to take this the wrong way.
I don't think they should, but I think they will.
Well, you know, that's their prerogative.
29-yard attempt.
They might not have been told it's for a record.
And Boniol kicks it through. 7 field goals for Chris tonight.
Do we have a fight going on?
Yeah, well, they did take it the wrong way. Reggie White, Michael Irvin. Michael explaining that, hey, man, it's a record. You got to understand.
The Packers didn't, and the game ended in a fight that could well be resumed in the playoffs.
I wouldn't deny my own son, your son, or anyone else an opportunity. Life has very few moments when you can set an NFL record. And he damn sure deserved it tonight because he won the game with his foot.
Not content with just running up the score on the Packers, Dallas have added insult to injury, or rather headgear to humiliation, by taking Green Bay's incredibly successful cheesehead concept and coming up with the Starhead, which looks like something a 7-year-old might come home with, having landed a minor part in the school nativity play. Anyway, they're the hot item in Dallas at the moment, and come playoff time, Texas Stadium will probably be one carelessly discarded cigarette away from a major foam rubber fire. The Packers, by the way, didn't hang around after getting beaten. They went out and signed wide receiver Andre Rison, who, to no one's surprise, couldn't get along with Jacksonville's disciplinarian head coach Tom Coughlin, and have been released by the Jaguars. Rison has a week to master the Lambeau Leap and get his number plate changed before the Packers play St. Louis this Sunday. Time for the main game now, and it's the Dolphins against the Oilers in Houston. The Oilers are emerging as one of the best young teams in the NFL, led by the youngest coach, 38-year-old Jeff Fisher, who has them chasing their first playoff spot for 3 years. On the field, Houston's youth movement is led by their #1 draft pick, Eddie George, whose play so far this season has him in the running for Rookie of the Year. And at wide receiver, Chris Sanders, a rookie last year, is averaging 20 yards every time he catches the ball, the best in the league. Although it's not Dallas, this game is something of a homecoming for Dolphins coach Jimmy Johnson. Houston is the nearest NFL city to Port Arthur, where he was born, which means a strong family contingent in the crowd. And to keep the folks in the complimentary seats happy, Johnson's relying on a fully fit Dan Marino and a couple of rookies of his own, Zach Thomas, another Texas native on defense, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who has 10 rushing touchdowns so far this season. Jimmy Johnson's mum and dad are lean and CW in the crowd, and probably not best pleased with the outcome of the Oilers' opening drive.
Chandler's pass for the end zone, caught for the touchdown. Russell.
A crisp opening by Houston in sharp contrast to the Dolphins, who couldn't move the ball and had to punt. So it's the Oilers in possession again as we pick it up at their own 39-yard line.
Eddie George, only a couple of yards. We're told, by the way, that Keith Sims, who left the field for the Dolphins, will return, not seriously injured.
What a find this guy is, not for his athletic talent. When you talk to Houston Oilers coaches and members of management, this guy is a 10 off the field. The offensive line of the Houston Oilers lobbying for this young man to be Rookie of the Year.
And his physical talent no slouch either, as he's closing in on 1,000 yards in his rookie season. Chandler whips it right on target to Willie Davis. Davis out of bounds in Dolphin territory at the 47, chased out by Terrell Buckley, but it'll be a Houston first down. A cover of 13 yards on the completion by Chandler.
Always had an extremely strong arm. This is now the 5th season he's been with Jerry Rome, 3 at Arizona, 2 here at Houston, and understands the offense completely. Chandler's a guy, this is his 5th team in 7 years. Now seems to have found his place. There's Jerry Rome, the offensive coordinator.
And Chandler off to a 5-for-5 start. Harmon in motion. Chandler's pass, another completion. This one to Sanders. Chris Sanders in his 2nd season from Ohio State, taken out of bounds by Sean Wooden. That's a 15-yard gain.
And Tom, we continually see Harmon and George in the backfield, and what it's doing is it's distorting the coverage of the Miami Dolphins. This deep out to Sanders, you see Harmon up front. There's no underneath help for Wooden. He's got to handle it by himself, and Sanders with an excellent catch.
And there's Tippy Toes, Chris Sanders. Always has run like that. He said people forget his first name, Chris. They call him Tippy Toes once they see him run. A great track star in his high school days in Denver. Inside the 30, Eddie George with another carry.
25, Oliver on the stop.
And of course, Oiler running backs are measured by the yardstick of the Tyler Rose, Earl Campbell. Through 10 games of his rookie season, he had 944 yards. Right at 900 for Eddie George, coming into today's play already has gone over the 900-yard mark this afternoon.
Eddie George is 6'3", 233 pounds. We are talking a running back in fullback size.
2nd and 6. Chandler has hit all 6 of his passes. Draw play, handoff to George. And Eddie fights his way to the 15-yard line. Tim Bowens makes the tackle there.
You know, when a coach starts a football game, you want to establish some kind of control, some sense of we know what's happening, we know what's going on. Houston has that feeling offensively. Miami does not. With all the motion that Houston has run, it's really kind of pushed the Miami defense just kind of out of its envelope. They're just not in the right spots here.
3rd down and 3. Harmon and George, the split backs. Actually, it's Rodney Thomas in now for Eddie George. Chandler throws. Harmon puts on a little move and lowers his shoulder to the 15, where Sean Wooden takes him out of bounds. Another complete pass by Chris Chandler. This one another first down, 10 yards to Harmon.
Always been a great weapon, but here's Harmon. He follows motion, and again, he just kind of gets lost. The Miami defense really doesn't pick him up. Chris Chandler takes advantage of it. Wooden, after a nice first down pickup, has to knock him out of bounds. Look at that, 549 receptions. The quiet man.
4th all-time for Harmon in his 11th season now from Iowa. Had so many good years with San Diego. Before that with Buffalo. First miss by Chandler today. It's short-hopped Rodney Thomas, incomplete. It'll bring up
20 Thomas,
a 2nd down play and 10.
And Chandler saying that's on me. You know, you like to see that. Interesting, when we talked to Jerry Rome the other day, he said, you know, this kid in Arizona was uncoachable. He did not want to listen to anything I said, thought he knew everything. He said, get away from me. Don't bother me. You don't want to be coached. I don't want to coach you. But 6 weeks later, he came back and said, I was stupid. Coach me. If he stays healthy, one of the best arms in the league.
So the mature Chris Chandler has benefited from talks with his father-in-law, former NFL quarterback John Brody. Chandler hits Wycheck, who bowls his way in for the score.
First throw to Wycheck. He makes the catch. Oliver misses the tackle right there, where he runs over him.
Extra point by Del Greco is good.
14 points down and getting pressured by the Houston pass rush. Dan Marino dropped back into the shotgun on Miami's next possession to buy himself some time.
Marino fires a strike, complete. Fred Barnett with a catch in traffic.
Classic Marino bullet pass, but Miami not only stalled short of the end zone, their kicker Joe Nedney missed the chance to register their first points from 39 yards out. In the end, it was the Dolphins special teams that kick-started their day. As the former Dolphin Reggie Roby tried to punt, Kirby Dardar got through to block it. And after a scramble, Robert Wilson recovered to give Miami the ball at the Oilers' 31-yard line.
8 minutes left, second quarter, 14-0 Houston. Spikes only got a tough yard. Once again, the Houston Oilers, best in the league against the run, make it awfully tough on the ground. That time, Henry Ford made the tackle, and I guess we'll return home to tinker with that Model T.
This bunch up front for Houston, who are these guys? Cook, Walker, Ford, and Robert Young.
You know, they had that no-name defense in Miami, right? And they have equated this Houston Oilers defense, the no-name defense. But how can you say no names? They've got Henry Ford and Robert Young. And
No. Most people don't know who they are. Not famous names. They don't know who they are.
Oh, I get it. Marino. Quick release. Fires complete inside the 20. Dolphin first down. Fred Barnett again in traffic. There is a penalty marker on the play. 11-yard gain if it stands. Hold against Houston, so it will stand. Barnett celebrates.
Yeah, he's only had 3 weeks work with Dan Marino.
23 defense. Penalties decline. First down.
Blaine Bishop on the hold.
Barnett on the outside only had 3 weeks to really work on what Dan Marino wants, and he said, look, Dan Marino's the conductor. You know, I'll do what he wants. And this is a veteran player. The Dolphins chose not to put him on IR when he tore up his knee. Had surgery
amazing anyway, huh?
Yeah. And he comes back and is going to be a big contributor.
19-yard line, first down Miami. They trail by 14. Spikes turns the corner. Irving Spikes collides with Wortham and Robertson, but has the ball at about the 11-yard line.
Now Spikes, the fullback, plays running back. Short little guy, great strength in his legs. A decent pull there done by the offensive line. Watch his hit. That's 2 big hitters. Robertson on Spikes. They will knock helmets all day long and neither back off.
Marcus Robertson, we asked him about that name. Marcus, he said he was named after Marcus Welby, MD. And who's he playing with on this defense? Robert Young. Nothing doing for Irving Spikes. Stopped at the 10 by Wortham and Cook. Going to bring up third down and about 2 for the Dolphins. Desperately needing some points. Less than 6 minutes till halftime. Jeff Fisher and his Oilers have played good defense all season long, especially against the run. 3rd and 2. That fact might force Marino to put it in the air. He will. For the end zone and the touchdown. Irving Spikes out of the backfield.
Well, that kid did a great job. There was excellent coverage by Barrow. The block punt on Reggie Roby gives the Miami Dolphins great field position. Spikes kind of made that up. Spikes, that's just his 8th catch of the season. He runs here's Spikes right here, and he runs the out. You're going to see 56 pick him up while he kind of goes out of the screen. But then Marino looks away. Spikes turns up into the end zone. Marino comes back to him with that quick release, gets the ball for the score.
And Nedney puts the extra point through.
Miami's defense kept the momentum going by forcing the Oilers to punt on their next possession, giving Marino time to put together a drive before half-time. Here he hits O.J. McDuffie to move the Dolphins inside Houston's 40-yard line. And in the final seconds of the half, Joe Nedney came on to convert a 34-yard field goal attempt, which narrowed the gap to 4 points at the break. We'll have the second half for you in a couple of minutes.
Oilers 14, Dolphins 10. It's halftime.
Unique event.
This race means everything to us.
An outstanding year.
Go!
An unprecedented conflict. True blue.
Crashes. You thought you'd seen smashes. You thought you'd seen it all on Jeremy Clarkson's Motorsport Mayhem. But you haven't seen anything until you've seen the sequel. More Motorsport Mayhem, also featuring Steve Ryder. Out on video now, and the only motorsport tape worth having this Christmas.
Welcome back. We're in the Houston Astrodome where the Miami Dolphins trailed the Oilers 14-10 at half-time. After a field goal apiece in the third quarter, though, the visitors came close to taking the lead early in the fourth. But Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, looking for his 11th touchdown of the season, fumbled the ball into the end zone. Chris Dishman recovered for Houston and auditioned for the Rockets to celebrate. The recovery in the end zone, of course, is a touchback, which meant the Oilers took over at their own 20-yard line.
Play action fake, Chandler Had the defense in his face, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Zach Thomas. Touchdown!
He did everything right, except keep the football.
Yeah, his first NFL touchdown from Pampa, Texas. And Texas Tech. Fred and Barney. Izzo made the run on the fake punt for a big first down. Thomas with the interception and the touchdown. And Miami, for the first time today, is in front. Nedney for the extra point. And it's good.